Got a new job watching security footage overnight. I'm not supposed to watch camera 6, but it's pointed at my bedroom. I should have been more suspicious when they hired me on the spot. But after 3 months of unemployment and a stack of rejection letters, I was desperate. The night security monitor position at Sycamore Heights apartment seemed perfect, decent pay, minimal interaction with others, and best of all, it was just a 5-minute walk from my own apartment in the neighboring complex. The property manager, Mr. Voss, was a thin man with round glasses that magnified his pale blue eyes to an unsettling size. He barely glanced at my resume before handing me the key fob. Shift starts at 11 p.m., ends at 7 a.m., he said, his voice unnaturally soft. You'll monitor the security feeds from the office in the basement. Report any disturbances. Don't fall asleep. I nodded eagerly. One more thing, he added, sliding a sheet of paper across the desk. These are the protocols. Memorize them. The list was brief and straightforward, with one oddity that stood out. Camera 6 malfunctions frequently. Do not attempt to fix it. Do not watch it. Document any flickering or display issues, but otherwise ignore it. When I asked about camera 6, Mr. Voss's expression tightened. Just protocol, he said dismissively. The previous night monitors couldn't follow simple instructions. I trust you'll be different. I started that night. The security office was a small, windowless room with a desk, a worn office chair, and a wall of monitors showing feeds from various locations around the property: the parking garage, entrances, hallways, laundry room, and exterior perimeter. Camera 6 was positioned in the top right corner of the display. Unlike the other cameras which showed clear, crisp images, Camera 6 displayed a grainy, dark feed of what appeared to be the exterior of another apartment building. I recognized it immediately as my own building, Pinewood Apartments. Specifically, the camera was pointed directly at my third-floor bedroom window. I leaned closer, confused. My blinds were drawn, but I could make out the faint glow of my bedside lamp that I always left on. I checked the protocol sheet again. Do not watch camera 6. A chill ran through me. Was this some kind of sick joke? I almost called Mr. Voss, but something stopped me. If this was a test to see if I'd follow instructions, I'd already failed. And I really needed this job. So I tried to ignore it. For the first 2 hours, I focused on the other monitors, dutifully logging the few residents who came and went in the night. But my eyes kept drifting to camera 6, to my own window. Around 2 a.m., movement caught my attention. On camera 6, someone was in my apartment. A shadowy figure moved past my bedroom window, briefly visible through a gap in the blinds. My heart raced. I lived alone. No one had keys except me. I pulled out my phone with shaking hands and called my own apartment. No answer. I grabbed my coat, ready to run home, when the protocol sheet caught my eye again. Do not watch camera 6. What if this was an elaborate prank? A way to see if I'd abandoned my post on the first night? I hesitated, then sat back down. The figure hadn't reappeared. Maybe it was just a trick of light and shadow. I forced myself to look away, focusing intently on the other monitors. But every few minutes, my gaze would involuntarily flick to camera 6, to my window, checking for movement. At 3:17 a.m., I saw it again, a dark silhouette standing directly in front of my window. This time, it stood completely still, facing the camera. Facing me. The blinds were now fully open, though I distinctly remembered closing them before leaving. I felt sick. This couldn't be real. I grabbed my phone and opened my apartment security app, which connected to the small camera I'd installed by my front door. The feed loaded slowly, showing my empty living room, exactly as I'd left it. No intruder. I looked back at camera 6. The figure was still there, but now it was raising its hand, pressing it against the glass of my window. I stared, paralyzed with confusion and fear. How could something be in my window but not appear on my security app? The figure began to write something with its finger, leaving foggy trails on the glass. Backward letters, meant to be read from outside. From where camera 6 was positioned. HELLOMARK. My name. It wrote my name. I bolted from the chair, knocking it over. This was beyond a prank. I had to get home, had to see for myself. Protocol be damned. But as I reached for the door, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. Don't leave your post, Mark. That's against protocol. I froze. Another text followed immediately. Camera 6 is functioning correctly. Don't watch it. With trembling hands, I righted my chair and sat back down. I stared resolutely at cameras 1 through 5, refusing to look at the top right monitor. Sweat trickled down my back as I felt rather than saw movement on camera 6. At 4:32 a.m., a tap on my shoulder nearly stopped my heart. I spun around to find Mr. Voss standing behind me, though I never heard him enter. First night going well? He asked, his magnified eyes unblinking. Yes, I lied, my voice cracking. Just following protocols. His gaze lingered on camera 6, then back to me. Good. Very good. The others couldn't resist watching. He smiled thinly. They had to be replaced. He left without another word, the door closing silently behind him. For the remainder of my shift, I kept my eyes firmly on the other cameras, ignoring the persistent movement I perceived in my peripheral vision from camera 6. When 7 a.m. finally arrived, I practically ran out of the building. The morning was bright and normal as I hurried to my apartment. Everything looked ordinary. No strange figures, no messages on my window. My apartment was exactly as I left it, blinds closed, door locked, security system showing no entries. I was beginning to think I'd imagined the whole thing until I noticed a small folded paper on my kitchen counter that definitely hadn't been there before. With mounting dread, I opened it to find a single sentence. See you tonight, Mark. Don't watch camera 6. I called in sick that evening. And the next. On the third day, I received a final text. Your position has been filled with someone who follows protocols. Camera 6 will now be watching them. I moved out that weekend, breaking my lease and abandoning most of my belongings. I drove 2 states away before I felt safe enough to stop. It's been 3 months. I have a new apartment now, a new job at a 24-hour diner. I never turn my back to windows after dark, and I keep my blinds sealed shut with duct tape. Last night, I noticed something new at work. A security camera in the corner of the diner, one I hadn't seen before. The little red light blinked steadily as it slowly rotated toward me. The label underneath read Camera 6.